Hi guys, this is Kim, and welcome to my virtual library. So first, I would like to discuss contemporary realistic fiction. The book I chose to discuss under this category is Alexander and the Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad Day. This book I really thought was funny. However, I did not like the illustrations because they were in black and white. But this basically follows a young boy named Alexander throughout his day, and he thinks that everything that is happening to him is the end of the world, basically. And so he doesn't get a toy in his cereal box. His mom forgets to pack him dessert. His best friend tells him that he's not his number one best friend. And so he just has a very bad day. And then at the end of the book, it explains that his mom tells him that everybody has these days once in a while. So I thought it was cute. I would probably include this into my classroom. For diverse population, I chose to talk about Who is in My Family, all about our families. I think that this book is one of my favorite books in my virtual library because it discusses how families are different. And so some families eat cereal for breakfast, some families eat oatmeal for breakfast. And it just talks about how some children have a mom and a dad, some children have two mommies, some children have two daddies, some children are adopted, some children live with their grandparents. And so it just talks about a whole bunch of different families, but how we're all different but we're all the same. And I really just love the plot and everything of this children's literature book. I also included the Sneetches in this category because this is one of my favorite books, and I think that the lesson learned from this book is great, and so I just wanted to add it to diverse population. For fantasy, I chose to discuss Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. I haven't actually seen this movie, but I read the book and I thought it was really funny and creative. And it's basically about a grandfather who tells his grandchildren a story about a faraway land. And in the faraway land, it's not an ordinary town because there's no actual places to get or buy food. And the sky provides all the food. So the weather changes 3 times a day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And so the story goes on. And I think it's just a cute fantasy short book for kids to read. I think it's great. And I would definitely add that into my classroom. And graphic novels. So I did not know much about graphic novels before this activity, and all 3 of these books were seen in our classroom. However, I fell in love with them. But my favorite book on my virtual library is this book, Hidden. I am very fascinated with the Holocaust, and I think it should be taught in schools, and I think it should never be forgotten, of course. And I think this book is a great book to go along with a lesson about the Holocaust. I really love this book. I definitely would include that into my classroom. And next, I would like to discuss informational and biography because I think that these 2 books are great. There's a whole series that starts with Who Were, and it has like these people, and they all have like big heads. But I think that the people that this series chooses to write about are very good, and I think that they're interesting, like the Beatles and Walt Disney. And so I think that those are great books. I had a hard time finding children's biography books, but these are actually short chapter books, so I thought those were really cute. And in this category, it's labeled Other because I wasn't really sure where to put A Sick Day for Amos McGee. However, this is one of my favorite children's books that the professor read to us, so I fell in love with it, and so I just wanted to add it to my library. For poetry, I chose these 4 books, and I think they're all really cute. I think Fox and Socks is a really funny book. I could just see students trying to read it as fast as they can and like getting tongue-tied. It's really cute. And I also think Llama Llama Red Pajama is also a really cute book, and I love the illustrations in that book. And for science fiction, I chose these 3 books, and after looking at it, I realized that they're all about aliens and outer space. And so I guess that's something that I'm interested in. But anyways, I would like to talk about Baloney because this book has really great illustrations and I think it's really funny. It's about a little alien and he's a student, and so he arrives to class late, and he arrives late to class often, and so his teacher is mad, and he explains to his teacher all these different reasons on why he's late, and it basically, the author comes up with like made up words, and it's just really cute, and so I would definitely add that into my classroom. And finally, traditional literature and folk tales. I think that this story, The Real Story of Stone Soup, is funny because it's about a fisherman who has young workers, and the fisherman is lazy, so he makes the young workers do everything all the time. And so they convince the fisherman that they're going to make this soup out of river stones. And then while the fisherman isn't looking, they add different ingredients. And so it's kind of funny. And I thought that was a great book. And I also think this book is good too. And so that is my virtual library. I hope you enjoyed the books I included, and I'll see you in class.